Welcome to Very Rich Stories, where you will see stories of love, betrayal, secrets, and twists in real life. Today's story is: My brother married a thief, but no one believed me. A true story of family, favoritism, and fraud. This thief would steal anything. My family told me to stay quiet. I didn't. My brother married a kleptomaniac, and no one believed me. My brother's wife stole from everyone, I'm convinced of it. And then she stole from me. My family called me a liar, but they would soon find out the truth. My brother married a kleptomaniac. I saw her steal, more than once, but no one believed me because I was just a kid then. You may think that this story happened so long ago that it doesn't matter, but it does. It matters to me. And, if what happened to me had happened to you, you would know how important this story is. I was 12 the first time I saw my brother's girlfriend steal. It wasn't what she stole, it was more that she stole. It was how she did it. Smoothly, sneakily, with no consciousness of guilt, like it was her right to take whatever she wanted. She was brazen. I kept seeing her steal, no one believed me. What she stole from me was just too much. If she had stolen from you what she took from me, your reaction may have been worse than mine. My family told me to stay quiet. But I didn't. The first time I saw her steal, she didn't really steal, she just switched things. But to her advantage. The second time happened more often than once. At one point, she was bragging about it. She always looked really nice for church, but one day I saw a price tag sticking out the back of her dress at the neckline. She said she wanted to go to church with all of us, so we were happy about that, especially Mom, because it's not like Matt would ever go. Not since he got grown. She looked really nice, except for one thing I had noticed, so I said, "Amber, let me get some scissors and cut that tag for you." She nearly jumped 2 feet back and put up her hand like she was fending off an attacker. She exclaimed, "No. I have to take this dress back tomorrow and get my money back." "What's wrong with it?" "It looks nice," we all said. She tucked the still attached tag inside the dress to fully hide it. She became silent and said no more as she walked to the car to go to church with the family. I didn't understand. Until I started to realize that she did that at least once a month. She would fake buy a new dress, wear it, leave the tag attached, and then take it back to the store the Monday after church and get all of her money back. Oh, it's worse than that. She had the first red bottom shoes I ever saw, and this was back in the day before red bottom shoes were a thing. Amber had put tape on the bottom of her Sunday shoes, which were also new nearly every week. One day she had put red tape on the bottoms of her shiny new shoes. I suppose she ran out of whatever she had been using, probably regular masking tape, similar in color to the soles of the shoes. But this red tape on the bottoms of those shoes certainly caught my attention. I didn't ask this time, I figured it out. New shoes, tape the bottoms, wear them gently to church, then along with the new church dress, take them back to the store, telling the clerk, "I changed my mind." And get all your money back while returning used merchandise to the store as new and unworn. Church. I was young back then, but I knew a person like that needed church. Yup. She really needed it. She went to church, but her behavior wasn't changing. Things went missing at our house. At family events. But every time I said something, I was told I was just a kid. And to mind my own business. They called me dramatic. Jealous. They said I was imagining things. She's stealing and they are gaslighting me to protect her. When does a 25-year-old need protection from a 12-year-old? I knew my brother's girlfriend was stealing stuff. But nobody listened, because they said I was just a jealous little sister. So, what did I know? I had gone shopping with her a few times, it was like she purchased a lot. She always came home with so much more than any of us could afford. I thought, wow, she must have it like that. At one of those shopping outings, I saw her slip a necklace into her purse. She was smooth and easy with it. Experienced. She was asking the sales clerk to show her item after item, confusing the salesperson, overwhelming her. gauging how long it took the clerk to gather the next item to estimate how much time she had to hide the necklace she really wanted. I told my mom right away when I got back home. She laughed and said, "Amber wouldn't do that." But Mom, she did. Mom made another excuse for Amber and said, maybe she was holding it for someone. Yeah, for herself, I thought to myself. I would never say something like that to my mother. I valued life. I rehearsed the scene in my memory as I dried and put away the last dish in the kitchen that evening. Yup, she slipped that necklace into her purse when no one was looking, except me. The next incidence of something being missing was at home. My mom's earrings disappeared after a family dinner. I said it again, I think she took them. It was her. My brother got angry. Said I was making stuff up. He said I was making stuff up to ruin his relationship. Then he accused me of taking Mom's earrings and said I wanted to frame Amber. He told me to stop it or else. Search me. Search my room. I don't have them. Matt repeated, even louder, you probably have them and are trying to frame Amber because you don't like her. What's there to like? Who likes a klepto, a thief? I thought to myself but didn't say it. I looked at him puzzled. Mom has pierced ears, I do not, so why would I take her earrings? Amber reached up and touched her ears, she looked guilty to me. Yes, they are pierced. Then with the sweetest voice she said, Mrs. Taylor. Mom, just to add more sugar on, would never take your things. Mom patted her hand and said, I know, Amber, I know. Then my own mother just glared at me. But he married her anyway. She married my brother a year later. When I was 13. I had to smile through the wedding, pretending everything was fine. But I kept noticing things going missing every time she came over, a dish towel, a washcloth. Small, seemingly insignificant things. Spices from the cabinet. Not just garlic powder, but salt and pepper. If we had a backup of anything, if she saw we had more than one of a thing, she'd casually take whatever would fit in her pocket and then suddenly she had to leave. No one saw this but me, well I had decided to watch her, so I saw everything. And she came over a lot, like every day. She had made Carol, my mom her best friend, and Carol believed Amber. We lived in a rural area. My brother, the golden child, got the land next door from my parents. Dad just gave him acres to put a house on. I asked Mom, when I grow up will I get land too? She said, ask your father, it's his land and it's been in his family for generations. I asked Dad the same question and added more questions since I had time to think about it. Where will my land be and how many acres? Will it be the same as Matt? Secretly, I was hoping it wouldn't be next door to Amber. Heck, I might come home from work one day and find that she stole the whole house like the Grinch that stole Christmas. He looked at me bewildered and said, why would a girl need land? Plus, Matt is married. You're just a kid. Got my answer, huh? Brother's new wife, thief Amber is manipulative. Polished and smiley in front of others, sneaky behind the scenes. She was always dressed nicely and dripping in jewelry which must have been her obsession. Every time I saw something, I said something. And every time, I was told I was imagining it. Jealous. Dramatic. Then they began to suspect me, that I was making up things because maybe I was the thief. I am no thief. But this was Matt's girlfriend. Golden boy, golden brother, Matt. So if this was the girl he picked, then she must also be golden, by association. Therefore, my family, and especially my mother also thought that Amber could do no wrong. Soon I was told to just be quiet. How golden was Matt? Well, look at this. We lived in a rural area. When Matt and Amber got serious, my parents gave Matt the land right next door. Our addresses were just one number off. His house, the one my parents helped him build, was literally next door. And they didn't just give him the land. They gave him the down payment for the house, too. It was like I was glued to the window just watching Matt's house go up and my life go down. Matt was the golden boy. Always had been. I was just Abby. A kid. The kid who caused trouble. As soon as Amber moved in next door, she was at our house every day. Every freaking day. And almost every time she came over, something small would go missing. My mother bought a new set of dishes. Amber came over and commented, "I have those same dishes. My pattern is the same." Next day Amber comes in with a cup of coffee in a chipped coffee cup. By the time she left, she had one of Mom's brand new cups, and suddenly the chipped cup ended up in our set of dishes. I told Mom, and she looked at me as if I chipped a cup and was trying to blame someone else. Amber. Victim, Amber. The following week, Amber came over with a pitcher of red Kool-Aid. Strawberry, cherry, who knows what that red stuff was? Amber was not known for her cooking abilities. Who brings Kool-Aid to someone else's house? It was in an old Tupperware-style plastic pitcher, and as the Kool-Aid or punch was poured from it, you could see the formerly white pitcher was stained and reddish-brown from so much use. From so much Kool-Aid. As was my chore, which I saw as a punishment, I had to do the dishes after dinner. Suddenly I realized that Amber has left her Kool-Aid pitcher here, which is weird because she went to the kitchen to wash it after all the beverage was used up. I looked in the cabinet where Mom kept her pitchers, the plastic one, the nice ones, even the crystal one that she used when her fancy cousins from New York came to visit every summer. We always took out the good china and crystal when they came. Suddenly Mom's matching, identical, brand new, unstained, pristine pitcher is gone, and we have now inherited this old relic that Amber brought Kool-Aid in. She had never before or since brought Kool-Aid to the house for everyone. What a strange offering anyway. Kool-Aid. Of course, I told Mom about this switcheroo, and of course she didn't believe me. I washed the dishes as I had been told to, but wondered if anything was off limits to Amber with her stealing fingers. Those fingers? Adorned with a fancy diamond or cluster ring on every one of them, except her thumbs. Thumb rings hadn't come in style then, so she didn't yet have those. Golden boy, Matt, they didn't just give him the land. They gave him the down payment for the house, too. It's not just the noise, the sawing and buzzing and hammering, but it's watching Matt get a brand new house and land, and knowing that my father Steve is not planning to give me any type of inheritance like that. While I was sitting at the kitchen table doing homework, he was out there with contractors. They were building his future, with my parents' money. Flashback, Carol saying, "He's the firstborn. We just wanted to help him get started. Plus, Amber is pregnant now. Not only that, it's right next door. I'm just watching them build a house right next door where Amber the thief, the klepto, will be living. I'm just watching out the window while construction happens, shaking my head. Our addresses were just one number apart. His new home was literally a few hundred feet away. So yeah, she wasn't just in the family. She wasn't just in a family way. She was next door. Every day. And every time she came over, things disappeared, got moved around, or got exchanged, with our house getting the short end of the switcheroo. So yeah, we were close. Physically. Too close, maybe. She lived there. Amber, the woman who smiles warmly in my mother's face, and my mother believes her. Amber, the woman I first saw stealing when I was 12, and many times since. Amber, living just one house number off. Just one fence away. The golden boy was funded and given land. I was given nothing except the responsibility to keep surveillance on the thief next door. Golden boy, Matt, married to a golden girl named Amber. How ironic. But what was I going to do? Live my life. I was a good student, great in math, but recently I had taken a keen interest in government classes at my school. We learned all kinds of stuff about how the government works. One day we discussed Social Security. The teacher told us we would need a Social Security number if we didn't already have one. At age 14, I proudly ordered one and anticipated the day I could first use it, to get my driver's license. That was back in the day when your Social Security number was your driver's license number. Only 2 more years I could take driver's ed and then get the coveted driver's license. Living in a rural area, a driver's license was a must unless you wanted to stay home forever. If you took driver's ed, you could get a learner's permit earlier and then with that permit, practice driving. I wanted that too. By age 16 I had a driver's license and next wanted to get a summer job. I applied for a sales and cashier position in a department store, had an interview that went very well, but never heard back from the business I applied to. Disappointed, I went on with school. By age 17, I applied for a similar position to another department store and didn't get that job either. When they called to tell me I didn't get the job, there was a hint that they couldn't trust me with money. I said, "I'm very good with math, I can run credit cards and make change and all that," trying to improve my chances of getting hired. But I was turned down again. I felt like some kind of criminal and didn't know why. They couldn't trust me with money? Why? The next year I was a senior and graduated high school and was accepted to college. Steve started the excuses, saying that he and Carol couldn't afford for me to go to college, and why did I need to go anyway? Couldn't I just marry a nice man and be a housewife? Mom, Dad, you're not paying college tuition for me? Abby, we gave that money to Matt for the down payment on his house build and closing costs. O.M.G. Matt got funded and I got defunded? Really? I had to shake this off and get on with the business of living my life. When I turned 18, I applied for a summer job. I was excited, nervous, ready to start my life. Knowing this time, I have a high school diploma, they will hire me now. Maybe I was too young before. But there was pressure, since I was going to have to foot my own way through college with no financial support from my parents. While Amber and Matt sat in their brand new house enjoying themselves, I applied for the job, took the interview and anxiously awaited. They said they would call. But then the store ran a credit check and discovered that I had debt. Thousands of dollars of debt. Credit cards I never opened. Debts owed to businesses that I never went to. I thought it was a mistake. But at least someone finally told me why I wasn't getting the summer jobs I had applied for. Debt from a doctor's office that I don't even know where that place is. $450 since 4 years ago. I was only 14 4 years ago. Why would I go to a doctor like that? I was super healthy. That's a doctor for women, not children. I never went there. But then I saw the address used on the fraudulent accounts. Same road as mine. Same zip. Just one number off. Her address. His house. My family's land. Amber. She stole my identity. Opened credit accounts in my name. And no one noticed, because we had the same last name. Same first initial. I was confused. Then I saw it. The accounts were in my name, but it's my brother's address. She used my identity. Amber. We had the same first initial. And once she married my brother, Matt, we had the same last name, Taylor. I told my parents. They were shocked. How could I say such a thing? My brother? Silent. She denied it, of course. I was just a kid. 12 years old when I first spoke up. No one listened. She did things along the way and now I'm 18, it's 6 years later. For 6 years they let her get away with things that we've always been taught is wrong. Stealing. Lying. We've been taught in Sunday school not to do these things. And now look. Now I am a teen dealing with stolen credit. Don't ignore red flags. Even if they come from someone younger. Sometimes kids see the truth before adults ever do. I pulled my full credit history. I cross-referenced addresses. I found account statements from when I was 14, 15, 16, 17. Credit cards opened in my name, using her address. With first initial A, and my last name, Taylor, which was also her last name now. Then it dawned on me. All this debt started as soon as I got a social security number. As soon as I got a social security number, I repeated out loud, to myself. Shaking my head. We had the same first initial. Same last name. She thought that made it easy. She thought I'd never figure it out. I filed a police report. I didn't care that she was family. I wasn't protecting a thief just because she married my brother. I made a call to a lawyer, free legal aid. I found a legal aid office that took my case. I filed a claim for identity theft, fraud, emotional damages, and everything else I could legally throw at her. Hate to be petty, but you want to mess up my report? I will mess up yours. My credit report for your criminal rap sheet. I thought of 3 summers of work where I could have been making money for college and my own future. She stole it. When the letter from my attorney got to her? Oh, she called me crying. Said it was a mistake. Said she thought I'd never notice. My brother? He was silent. Again. I told them both, you ruined my credit. My future. My name. And now? I'm taking it all back. I spent months, nearly a full year, making call after call, writing letter after letter, cleaning up the damage. Challenging every charge. Every false account. I got most of it removed, some fell away because it was too old to stay on my credit report. Bit by bit, my credit recovered. No credit is better than bad credit. I inherited bad credit from a thief that I knew was a thief and had warned everyone with authority to stop her, and they did not. They did not protect me. They didn't even protect themselves after I had clearly warned them over and over. By protecting themselves, they would have protected me, but they didn't. Now, I've got to go to a higher authority for protection and resolution of this problem. At 19, I filed a police report. For identity theft. Fraud. I had all the proof. Credit reports, billing addresses, account openings, everything. Legal aid had even gotten copies of registration and billing statements from the medical offices she went to and never paid. Her birthday, her age, her build and weight were on those forms, although they didn't have any pictures of her. She was 10 years older than me. 30 pounds heavier, different eyes, different hair. How did we never know? Was she taking the mail out of our mailbox all these years? When I told my parents, it was like I'd accused them. Not her. Golden Amber, they believed a stranger over their own daughter. Why are you doing this to us? They asked. Us. Like I was the one who wrecked someone else's credit score. You're going to ruin your brother's life, they said. His life? His life? What about my life? I'm not Amber, I'm Abby. I am not married to my brother, Amber is married to him. He picked her. His choices ruin his life. His choices shouldn't ruin my life, and neither should his wife be able to ruin my life. They protected him. Because he was their investment. He was male, worth investing in. They gave him land, a down payment, basically a house. The perfect life next door. By protecting him, they protected Amber. And me? I was just a girl. The one they said was causing problems. So Golden Matt could be protected, but Abby? Why didn't they protect me from Amber? When I told my parents I filed a claim against my brother's wife, you'd think I said I burned the house down. They weren't shocked that she stole from me. They were angry that I dared to say it out loud. My brother was the golden boy. He could do no wrong. And by extension, neither could his wife, Golden Amber. They gave him land. A place to build. A future. And I got the guest room and a warning not to start trouble. Why are you trying to destroy this family? Why are you doing this to us? They asked. To us. As if I was the one who opened credit cards in someone else's name. They have asked me about that too many times. I just downloaded on them. I am doing this because you didn't protect me. I am doing this because I have come to realize that this is a DIY, do-it-yourself family. You won't give me land. You won't pay for my college, and you won't protect me, so I will have to do it myself. You fund Matt and defund me. How is that right? I didn't do anything to anyone, Amber did this to me. They said I was bitter, jealous, evil. They even called me evil. They said I was holding on to things from the past. But guess what? Some things don't fade. Especially when they're still on your credit report. What was on my credit report were someone else's crimes. After I filed the report, I wasn't invited to Thanksgiving. No one called on my birthday. No one cared how I was doing in college. My brother blocked me. My mom said I embarrassed the family. Why can't you just move on? She said she's sorry. No one asked me how I was surviving. How I was supposed to fix my credit. Or afford school. She stole my name. My social security number, my credit reputation. But they stole my voice. She stole my identity. But they stole my voice. I grew up thinking I was just the difficult one. The dramatic one. But all I ever did was tell the truth. And they punished me for it. Oh, I hear their voices over and again, accusing me, guilt-tripping me, you're tearing this family apart. Just let it go. They weren't mad that she stole from me. They were mad that I didn't stay quiet about it. So, I stopped trying to be the good daughter. I began to fight for my rights. I disputed every account. Rebuilt my credit. Worked 2 jobs. Paid for legal advice out of pocket when I had to. I did what no one else in that house was willing to do, take responsibility. It took months and months. Almost a year. But I got it done. I cleared my name. My brother got land, a down payment, a house, and a future. Part of that down payment money should have been for my college tuition, but I had to take out student loans and get multiple jobs even while in school. It was tough. I got a wrecked credit score and a family that told me to keep quiet. Guess which one of us actually built something on her own? But even with the troublemaker, me, in exile, they still began to have their problems. Matt, jealous and petty. Amber, conceited and a master antagonist, knew how to push his buttons, and they fought all the time. Every week. 6 years of this. 3 kids later. 6 years, every week. What are they fighting about now? The house. Her name is not on the deed. They fight about this every week, it seems. Steve does not want that land to get into the hands of anyone other than family, so he forbids it. Carol says, if it will keep the peace, then add her name to the deed. Carol adds, what could it hurt? Steve and Carol begin to fight over this deed issue. Matt goes against his father and decides to add Amber to the deed. The next day, she sells the house and leaves him. Amber, the thief. She stole the damn house from him. Now the parents, now Steve and Carol, finally notice that Amber is a thief. They wanted me to forgive. Forget. Make it easier for them. But no one wanted to make it right for me. So, I stopped trying to be the good daughter. Or the quiet little sister. I became my own advocate. I rebuilt what she destroyed. With no help from the people who were supposed to protect me. She stole my name. They tried to silence me. But I made noise, and I got it all back. And no one will ever tell me to let it go again. I fought every charge. Every penny they said I owed, when I didn't owe anyone anything. I rebuilt my credit. I worked side gigs. I stayed angry, and I stayed focused. Eventually, the system caught up. The fraudulent debts were removed. The late payments and non-payments, the judgments on a never-before-used credit file had to be scrubbed and cleaned and cleansed and expunged before the rightful owner could even use it. My name and reputation were cleared. But the damage? The scars? Still there. I got denied for things for years that I should have been approved for. Things I did get approved for cost more, interest was higher. I had to explain why things were on my credit file that didn't belong to me and how long I had disputed them. People didn't always believe me. It was humiliating. I was looked at as a credit risk, when I really wasn't. I was looked at sideways sometimes. From the beginning, I didn't get my own chance to build a good credit rating. Amber stole it. Going to college was harder. It was a struggle because of a shoddy credit record that wasn't even mine and was no fault of my own. But I made it. I got through it. Late? Maybe. But I finally earned my degree. Amber? She lost everything. My brother? Divorced. And me? I'm still standing. She took my identity. Hell, I wouldn't want to be her either. She took my identity, for a time, but she didn't get to keep it. She took my dad's land. She took my brother's house. I guess small early warnings aren't good enough for some people. They had to wait for the drama. This could have all been avoided. I made noise. I made a case. And I made a comeback. Sometimes, justice starts with rage. And sometimes the problem child is just the first one to see the truth. I was never one to stay quiet. In every family there is a seer. I saw things that I never planned to see, but once you see something, you have to let it be known or deal with it. I was the seer. I told what I saw to proper authorities, but I was always told to be quiet. I wasn't inherently quiet, I was made to be quiet. The only reason you wouldn't want to know that there's a fox in the henhouse is if you're selfish and you don't think you're a hen. At first it looked like I was the only hen, but once Amber got through, everyone was a hen. And the victim. The way they let her do whatever made them look like chickens. By the time I got to be 18, I was done being quiet. I couldn't get a job without someone side-eyeing my credit report. I could barely get a student loan. I couldn't even rent a shoebox apartment without some landlord saying, "Your score is too low." I got so many rejections that it was nearly depressing. Amber did this to me. Amber, the woman my brother married, stole my identity. And everyone still wanted me to be the bigger person. Shouldn't the 35-year-old be more mature than the teenager? Bigger person. You know what? Forget that. I'm a CPA now. I know how to make numbers balance. I am trustworthy. I can be trusted with money and around money. I have a good career, a steady high-level income and position. I have good savings and investments. I have perfect credit, but it took years of needless struggle and discrimination because I looked like a credit risk. I looked like a criminal. Families protect what they value. Mine protected the thief. They called me bitter. Difficult. Dramatic. But I wasn't any of those things. I was right. I was 12 when I first saw her steal. I was 18 when I realized she stole from me. At 19, I took it all back. My name, my credit, my future. And she? She lost everything she thought she'd gotten away with. My brother's house. My dad's land. My parents' gift. Well, until it wasn't. She stole from everyone in my family. She didn't just steal my name, she used their land to do it. And it wasn't just her, they took what could have been my college tuition and used it for my brother's house, because she needed a house and she was pregnant. They handed her a front row seat to my life. And she nearly ruined mine. 5 years later, she got arrested. Caught on security camera lifting, get this, an amber ring set in gold, from a jewelry store with hidden cameras. She kept diamond rings on most fingers, sapphires, emeralds, rubies. She wanted it all. She had one on every digit except her thumbs. 2 on some. It's like she cared about all those rings, but not her wedding ring. After she was arrested, suddenly, everyone remembered what I said as a kid. You were right. But by then, the damage was done. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just a kid who saw the truth, but no one believed me. Sometimes the kid in the room is the only one paying attention. Give a like if you've ever known something was wrong and no one believed you. Comment your story below. Subscribe for more true stories every week. Ever been betrayed by your own family? Or ignored for telling the truth? Drop your story in the comments, you're not alone. Subscribe for more real stories they tried to silence. Thank you for watching Very Rich Stories.